and beautiful.
We're Steph and Gian, and welcome to our home.
Come on in. We bought the house in 2024 and it is a Queen Anne period home. So Queen Anne with Federation features. Queen Anne is a time period that spanned after Victorian and is just heading into Federation in terms of architectural styles.
We wanted to do this renovation in a quick time frame because we're obviously expecting our first born
mind
in
you,
October.
we were pregnant at the time. We started the build and I was 3 months pregnant.
Yeah, literally.
And we literally only had 5 months. We built a whole house in 3 months on the show. We can do it in 5 months.
Yeah.
It's just that, you know, the block has these certain ways of getting around things, whilst in real life, can you actually achieve a fast build? Well, we did.
On the block, you're stripped away from real life. That's why you can get it done in such a short time.
We loved the features that were present in the house. We have these beautiful sort of archways in the hallway with this nice ornamentation, beautiful cornices and picture rails that we really wanted to reinstate. So it was all about how do we be sympathetic to the architectural style and also add our Japandi style, and what does that look like? There actually is this layered level of ornamentation which really blended well with Queen Anne. So it's those features that you see sort of throughout the house in the kitchen, where it's that sort of corbel detail. And some people might think that that, you know, might be a bit more ornamented than a traditional Japandi minimalist style, but it's actually more of that Japanese character coming through. Even in the essence of the decision making, it's a very Japandi philosophy. Intentional, mindful, considered, functional. If we're starting with philosophy, it's more about the layout. It's about the free-flowing spaces. It's about putting functionality above anything, you know, bathroom and bedroom connectivity, architectural lines that are really seamless and not overbearing, soft curves every now and then to soften spaces, and the indoor and outdoor flow between courtyard to outdoor and indoor spaces. Then when you layer that with the aesthetics of color palette and you're wanting, yes, this traditional beige tone, I think what's complementary to that are earthy tones. And that's what you see throughout the house. It's not just Japandi beige, it's Japandi with the essence and the character of mainly and predominantly those Japanese aesthetics, those Japanese ornamentations, but then layering that with those deeper, richer tones. Yeah. And when you combine that Japanese aesthetic to the functionality of Scandinavian, that's when you get Japandi. And that's how we see Japandi.
Steph talked about the beauties of it, but I think there was a lot of hidden mess from the previous owners because there was mismatches of renovations that we saw in our minds. We could strip back and say, look, this is what this house is meant to be. So I think it scared a lot of people off because some rooms had this old carpet. There was some, you know, laminate floorboards, and the front porch was so elevated, and we were like,
a 1970s sort of extension.
It was like a 110-year-old home, then a 30-year-old reno, then another 10-year-old reno. We're like, there's a lot of inconsistency, but it's the perfect renovations dream.
As an architect, you really want to make your mark in every single space, but actually practicing restraint in certain moments is really key. And being in a conservation area, that is really prominent because you're sort of like restricted to certain elements. So we weren't allowed to go up. So it was all about how can you cleverly play with the floor plan and have more of a lateral extension, extending on the side. So all the rooms didn't have the amenity of a bathroom. So it was all about how do we get that usability and functionality to the front of the house and having en suites. It was all about maximizing, again, the roof space. So we did an attic in the areas above all the bedrooms, which is great in our study. We're moving away from a open plan, and it's how do you create this open, free-flowing home that also has moments in a house. So a living room, a sitting room, a dining room, and a kitchen. And how do they have an open feel, but also feel like they're separate nooks?
It was the most like suboptimal floor plan. It was bedroom, 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 living area, and then all the way at the back, it was a toilet room and then a bathroom. Storage is key, especially in these areas. That's how we wanted to approach a reno, adding to the livability of a home. Yep. And that's how we think we added value.
I feel like we learnt a lot on our first house in Sydney, the one that got us onto the show, and then we learnt a lot when we were on the block.
Yeah.
When we came to this house, nothing from a non-functional perspective is gonna be in here. Aesthetics matter, yes, because of the way in which you feel, not because of the way in which it's photographed or how it's gonna look in Pinterest.
As an example, we're thinking of having a spiral staircase up to the attic.
Yes.
And that's something that we're like, that would be so cool, but I'm like, I don't want to go up a spiral staircase. It might be dangerous for kids.
I still think that would work.
Do you know what I mean? Like we're talking really refined now because we went through every single decision.
We created a whole other room at the back of the house, and then that spills onto the veranda that goes into the pool. I think that is a really successful space. It was really important to have a landscaping that complemented that indoor-outdoor feel.
I think the ability to use the outdoors to complement the inside of a home is the biggest thing for us. Being a little bit more elevated, we had to be quite smart with levels, and that's why we obviously have the pool that's flush with the outdoor deck, and obviously the steps down to the greenery. Like we needed to have grass because it's obviously for families, it's nice.
And planting bamboo so that you don't feel like the ground floor is actually lower. There's so much thought that goes into it that you only feel when you're in the space, and you don't necessarily know why someone's done that, but you're like, oh, this feels good. It's like, oh, don't trust me. There's been a lot of thoughts going into it.
Everything has been done like intentionally because we knew that we weren't blessed with a 600 square meter block that you can go gung ho. We had to be really smart with the space we had. I think the conventional way of doing it would have been just keep this cathedral ceiling running all the way through. But then we thought, no, we want to have like moments throughout the home, and that's what we've done.
Transition of space is how you create that, creating a portal between two spaces.
Because I think people usually think they're going to just see a beige home. You don't expect to see so much chocolate or so much like imperfect tones like Venetian plaster. It's such an imperfect art, and people are like, why do you spend so much money on it? It's because you walk into a space and you just you feel something when you look at a wall, and you look at the movement, it tells a story.
We were really inspired by our original fireplace, and the fireplace that you see in our living room is original, but it wasn't actually there. It was in the front room, and it had this beautiful Rosso Levento marble, and I thought, you know what, this is going to be a recurring motif throughout the house. I think that is a really clever way of highlighting a traditional aspect and being sympathetic to the existing character, and then also creating like a modern look to it.
I think what I like so much about the renovation is the way that we have brought so much light into a home, because when we moved into this house, it was so dark. We get so much light, as you can now see, but we had to be really smart with the use of skylights because we get sun literally all day now, and it brings such a different mood to the house, which is something that, you know, light does, like natural light. We moved in when you were 36 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's
finished. So I moved in 8 months pregnant, and the house was done. Like we're saying, like landscaping was done. Everything was done.
Not a trade was at the house.
Yeah. So yeah, I was able to nest my final month at the house.
We don't really believe in a forever home, so it's hard to say that we'd be here forever.
But it does feel very homey and very intentional for right now, because Ilaria was born into this house.
Yeah, I think that's why it's so sentimental as well, because when I look at things in the house, I just think of us renovating it while Steph was pregnant and going through that journey here.
That's cute.
So yeah, do see ourselves being here for a while.